Hi, I'm the Dutch birder, and 2025 is my 17th year of birding. This year, I'm on a quest to document at least 250 different bird species. Join me on my quest through wetlands and forest of the small European country called the Netherlands.
Good morning. Willem and I are on our way to our first target, the Buffelhead of Almere, which has been reported twice over the past week. But we're taking a slight detour of about 10 minutes for a cattle egret. Now, cattle egret isn't a rare species in the Netherlands anymore, but it's pretty scarce still. So it's a good one to get on a year list. Let's see if we can find it.
On the way, we passed the Grote Praambult, a beautiful viewpoint where sometimes groups of several dozen white-tailed eagles can be seen. However, there wasn't a single one present this time. Perhaps it was still too early in the day, so we quickly moved on.
A lot of great white egrets here in the field. We can't find the cattle egret yet, but it's probably amongst the other egrets here. Counting like 30 great white egrets already. Sadly, the cattle egret wasn't at the spot it was reported yesterday, so we are quickly moving on to the Buffelhead, Almere. First, we're going to check the north side of the harbour for two Slavonian grebes that were reported here. Turns out we were completely searching in the wrong area. This isn't the Pampus Harbor, so we are heading there quickly. Strange. At this spot the two Slavonian grebes were reported. We could only find two black-necked grebes. Were they wrongly identified? Or are those Slavonian grebes somewhere else? I have to see.
The black-necked grebe, however, was still new for the challenge.
The Buffelhead wasn't here today, sadly. We are now going to Culemborg for a Hume's leaf warbler, but it's 10 AM already and it hasn't been reported today, so I'm fearing the worst.
Upon arriving in Culemborg, the first task was to get our gear together. I decided to hang my camera from my shoulder strap so I could film handheld quickly if I saw anything interesting. Still, I took my tripod along just in case. If the bird stuck around for a while, I could get extra stable footage. We quickly made our way to the spot where the bird had been seen the day before, and we heard that it had already been seen that morning, even just 5 minutes before we arrived. So we began combing through the area with hopeful anticipation. After quite a bit of searching, someone mentioned they'd heard it call. We waited hopefully. Unfortunately, no follow-up sighting came. I did, however, hear a firecrest, a species I still needed for the challenge, so I decided to go after that one. Who knows, maybe I'll bump into the Hume sleep warbler again in the meantime. The firecrest kept eluding me. At one point, it even crept through the hedge right beside me, but luckily, after many attempts, I managed to get at least one countable still for the challenge. After a bit more searching, a few birders suddenly walked up to me and asked if I'd seen the bird. I said no, and they wondered who had called out that it was in view. Total confusion followed. Apparently, several people had heard someone shouting, but none of those present had actually seen the bird. So, back to searching. Willem and I ran into the firecrest again, this time in a conifer hedge. Unfortunately, the bird was still too quick for me, which led to some frustration. My camera battery was running low, and the action cam battery also needed replacing, so we headed back to the car. While I was at the car, dealing with that, suddenly there was commotion. The bird had been seen again and was skulking through the bushes in my direction. I got it in view almost immediately. What followed was quite a struggle with my camera. In video mode, the camera is set to autofocus by default, but that doesn't work well for small birds in the bush. You want to help focus manually, but that doesn't work in autofocus mode. I still need to train myself to automatically switch to manual focus when turning on the camera, something I forgot to do in the stress of the moment. Luckily, I still managed to capture 3 sharp frames, so I could finally count the species for the challenge. On the way home, we managed to pick up one more rare species that still counted for the year list. A glossy ibis had been hanging around in the northern part of Overijssel for a few days. The bird was right there when we arrived, although a bit far off in the field, so not the best view. Still, another species added to the list.
After we finally got some glimpses of the Hume's leaf warbler, we've decided to head to one last bird, the glossy ibis. We've just arrived and it's here. Nice to end the day with a bird that is easy to get. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe. Please hit the like button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.